Yes, indeed. Greetings, boxing fans. This is Nick with B in Boxing News coming at you with another one. Today, Saturday, April 17th, there will be some boxing. Great boxing. I mean, fight started as early as about 3 o'clock today here in the U.S. First up to Dibs, it's going to be a fight from Thriller. So, Regis Prograis, with a record of 25-1, will be facing Ivan Redkach, whom has a record of 23-5 with one draw. All right, that will be in the junior welterweight division. Regis Prograis' last fight was last year, October 31st, 2020, when he stopped Juan Heraldez. But Ivan Redkach, his last fight was January 25th, 2020, when he was defeated by Danny Garcia by unanimous decision. He's been out of the ring a little bit, you know, longer than Regis. It's gonna be a hell of a fight for him. I think Regis is gonna actually stop him. That's my personal thing. I think that he's going up against a bad man in Regis Prograis, and ever since that Josh Taylor fight, I don't think Regis is out here playing around. And Regis is serious, and he's here to he's here to make a statement. He's here to make a statement in the junior welterweight division. So he started that statement last Halloween, 2020, and he's gonna make another statement tonight. He's gonna show everyone that he is a force to deal with. And Ivan Redkach, he's gonna actually feel what I'm talking about. So on that one, I'm going with Regis Prograis by stoppage. I think Regis will stop him by the 5th round. So I'm going on record saying that Regis will stop Ivan Redkach by the 5th round. All right. So that'll be an early fight today on Thriller. Make sure you guys tune in to support. Okay. And then there'll be a fight also by internet sensation Jake Paul, who has a record of 2-0. Everybody know he's famous after he dropped basketball superstar Nate Robinson. That happened last year. So ever since then, I mean, he got a hell of a buzz in boxing. So he's going to be fighting tonight a guy named Ben Askren, who is a former MMA fighter, whom actually lost his last MMA fight and retired in 2019. But I actually talked to one of my boys who is a former MMA fighter who pretty much told me that Ben Askren don't really have any hands when it comes to boxing. He's like one of the worst boxers. So it should be easy for Jake Paul to put hands on him and drop him. So I'm gonna take that advice from, like I say, no other than my fellow former MMA partners that I know personally, known as The Fear. Okay, I ain't gonna put his real name out there, but that's just, it came from the Fear. He said that Ben Askren, who's 0-0 in boxing, is going to be 0-1 by the time Jake Paul puts hands on his ass. And Jake Paul more than likely to be 3-0. So far, some good boxing, all right? So I'm going on record with that one saying that Jake Paul will beat up Ben Askren. More than likely, another stoppage will be recorded tonight. Okay? And last but not least, our Detroit fighter, Tony Harrison. All right, former super welterweight titleist Tony Harrison with a record of 28-3. All right. He last time he fought, he lost. We all know he lost to Jamel Charlo by stoppage. Jamel dropped his ass After he was fucking around, playing around in the ring, Jamal stopped him. He'll be facing Bryant Perella, who just moved up to super welterweight. I ain't never heard of him in the 147 weight division, but I guess hey, he moved up and he has a record of 17-3. And he last lost to Abel Ramos, okay? So by unanimous decision. No. I remember that fight. I actually started that fight. That's the dude that lost the last seconds of the fight. He was actually winning that fight. In the last few seconds of the fight, that dude caught him, and the fight was stopped. Yes, I did see that fight. Abel Ramos beat his ass. He was beating the shit out of Abel Ramos damn near the whole fight. And in the last few seconds of the fight, Abel Ramos caught him and actually stopped him. Salute, Bruce Goes. What's going on, my man? I see you, bro. I see you. Bruce Goes said, I'm interested in seeing Frank Mir box Steve Cunningham. Oh, man, it's the night of boxing, brother. I want to see them all myself, man. I want to see them all myself. I want to see them all myself. It's going to be going down, man. Definitely. Man, who you think going to win in that Tony Harrison fight versus Brian Perella? You think it's going to be an awesome fight? I think now when the night starts about 7 o'clock tonight, I think Tony Harrison has to make a statement. If he don't make a statement tonight, courage for him, man. He won't look good for him. I mean, he just can't just go out there and beat Brian Perella. He needs to stop Brian Perella in an awesome fashion. Like, just drop his ass on his neck or something. I don't know, bro. Whatever he got to do. But he has to make an awesome statement, because if he don't make an awesome statement, there's no way he can campaign to fight Jermell Charlo. You know, so if he wants to fight Jermell Charlo, he has to make a hell of a statement tonight. He either go out there and stop all the playing around and do his thing. Like I said, rest in peace to his father, who was his trainer. Tonight, his brother will step in to train him. So that's his new trainer. The guy he's fighting against, his trainer is Roy Jones Jr. So we all know Roy Jones Jr. has a hell of a competitive nature. So we're going to have to see what it do. You going to go with Bruce Goes to, I'll go with Tony. He wants to rematch with Charlo. I'm looking forward to kicking back to some good shit. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I'm gonna sit back and watch some good old fashioned boxing, man. That's gonna start. That's actually starting in a little bit, with the prelims. And like I said, it's gonna be an entire day of boxing, man. So that's why I said, I like to go on record prior to fights and pretty much say what I think and pretty much say who I think is gonna win, who's not gonna win. Because a lot of people, what they say, they'll go on record. They won't go on record, but they'll come back and say, well, I said this. Now, if you don't go on record and say it, you ain't never say it. You got to go on record. And you got to make your statements, you got to make your statements so you can be called out on it, so you can eat crow, if that's what it is. So you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're not wrong, hey, it is all good. But definitely, like I said, I'm going on record. Tony Harrison has to box this guy. Tony Harrison is a hell of a boxer. We all saw him against Charlo both times. The first fight was debatable, between him and Charlo. I actually thought Charlo won the first fight. I thought he edged it. But the second fight, I'll be honest with you, man. Tony Harrison was boxing the shit out of Charlo until he started playing around, and Charlo caught his ass, and of course we knew the fight was over. So without all the playing and shit, we're gonna have to see. Oh shit, Demetrius Andrade. I forgot all about Demetrius. Yes, indeed. Well, we all know Demetrius Andrade is a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a boxer, man. His ring IQ is Demetrius got hell of a footwork, bro. He's gonna cut that damn ring off and he's gonna smash this dude, bro. He's a fundamentally sound boxer, and he has to also display put on display what he's all about. He has to also put on display. I seen yesterday when they was facing off, him and the guy was facing off, you know, all that shit. None of that shit matter. You booting up and trying to scare the guy. You know, he has to go in there tonight and make a statement. He's classified as a boring fighter because he's one of the fighters. I mean, he knows how to slip and pretty much work the damn ring like it's supposed to be worked. Slip and not get hit. You know, he's one of those type of fighters to where people say he's a boring fighter and he'll win, you know, by a shutout. But you know, most casuals want to see knockouts. So I think tonight he should go in there and just produce a masterful display in boxing, man, and just beat the shit out of the guy, man, and just and let everybody know, hey, you got it in you. You know, just all you gotta do, man, sit down on some punches, man. Sit down on your punches, you know, like you're supposed to. It's coming from the legs, coming from the hip, and take them out. Once you take them out, brother, you know, let everybody know you got that in you. But it will be a great night of boxing. I want to go on record. Definitely, Boo Boo Andrade is gonna win. I'll never go against him unless he fights Charlo, of course. I'm a Charlo fan, so I'm always stick with my guy who I'm going with. But Boo Boo has to fight more, bro. He has to be more active. I think that works against him all the time. You know, that's gonna always work against him. His activity rate. He has to fight more. And the more he fights, the better it's gonna seem for him. But like I said, man, I'm glad to come on here. I'm glad you tuned in to me, my brother. And that was my pre-fight predictions. If you think anything different, or I mean, if you tune in, make sure you put your pre-fight predictions at the bottom in the comment section to let me know who you think is gonna win these fights today. Because at the end of the day, I like to see how everyone else thinks. And I thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, like, and this is Nick with BM Boxing, and I'm out. Peace.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lex is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me.
Tio Primo Lopez, 11-0, 9 KOs. The best to do it right now in the game is to take over. Shout out to BM Boxing News.
Hey, Lewis Jr., I've been welterweight champion of the world. Everybody go follow BM Boxing News.